me tell you all, I'm kind of torn about this week. It's Romania Black. We're on episode 12 of Word of Honor. I'm torn because I am so excited watching this episode with you all. As I'm recording this episode 9 has come out on Patreon. Episode 8 has come out on YouTube. So I have recorded ahead because I'm going to be gone next week I'm recording this on a Friday. And next Friday, I leave and I'm going to be gone for like 9 days. 9 days. So, on the one hand, I'm super excited to be able to watch ahead and get to episode 12 of Word of Honor before I go on my trip. The downside is I'm going to have to wait 2 weeks before I can watch the next episode. That's a lot of time to be in between Word of Honor episodes. So, if this episode's really good or if it ends on a cliffhanger, I'm going to be biting at the bit to wait until we get back. So I'm like, So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So, But with that being said, I'm super excited because last week was amazing. I loved last week's episode so much. I was so on cloud 9. Our boys have kind of made up. They seem better. Win Keshing is still hiding things about himself, which I know is going to come back and bite him in the butt later, but we'll cross those bridges when we get there. But Changling has been accepted as Zhou Jishu's disciple. It's adorable. I'm so excited, even though now the Scorpion King knows exactly who they are. He knows he's from Window of Heaven. He knows who Win Keshing is. There could be a ghost revolt. The Heroes Conference is about to start. It's all going down. As one expects. I do have 2 comments. One is from Anime Annie, one is from Pancake, and they are both about episode 9. And then for this episode, when we get to the discussion, Be Happy said for episode 12 that there are some altered dialogue from the dub to the sub. So anyway, let's talk about Anime Annie. Anime Annie for episode 9 says the camera pan to the bottle of alcohol and the jade teapot. Zhou Jishu's 2 options for that night: alone with his jade, or with his soulmate watching the moon. I may also be reading too much into it, but in Chinese culture, I believe jade is symbolic of justice, virtue, and kindness. The bottle of alcohol has speckles of red on it, kind of like a blood splatter. By choosing the alcohol and moon watching with Win Keshing, Zhou Jishu learns of Win Keshing's nefarious, bloody plan, which is kind of unkind and unjust. I think that's really interesting. I like the idea. It's like he took up the bottle of sin. He chose the sinful route of drinking under the moonlight with Win Keshing rather than have the very mindful and demure and pure tea with jade. So, and it's like you ate the forbidden fruit and you found out the knowledge. So now the question is, what do we do with that knowledge? And it seems to be that when Keshing has, he's done a little bit of soul searching for himself, which is involved. Basically, when Keshing's soul searching is murder. But, Zhou Jishu seems like he's kind of chilled a little bit since then. And it's like, okay, you've done some really shitty things, but you're not a terrible person. And I probably shouldn't be a hypocrite and judge you too hard because I've done some shitty things too. So you're okay right now. I love on the Discord, everyone's been sharing memes for episode 9 of like Win Keshing's my favorites have been either Win Keshing tries to fix the situation and just makes it worse, which is what he's done. Or I think my favorite is I would fix him like Win Keshing to Zhou Jishu. I would fix him, but I'm even more terrible. It's like both these men are like, they both need to be fixed by themselves. It's great. So Pancake had a lot in their comment that they wanted to talk about, so I want to tie into theirs. There's 3 parts to Pancake's comment that I want to talk about. One, they said, since they bring up the idea of soulmates in episode 9, I think it's worth looking into the meaning behind it. In the scene where Zhou Jishu and Win Keshing are on the tower, looking at the 4 sages, they use 2 different terms, Jiji and Jiyin. Both convey the idea of someone who truly knows and understands you, but there's a reason they specifically use Jiyin for the 4 sages, and it's tied to music. Your subtitles pointed this out, but didn't explain the full story behind it, which is the tale of Yuboya and Xiang Jishi. Quick summary. Yuboya was a musician, and the only person who truly understood his music was Xiang Jishi. When Xiang Jishi died, Yuboya broke his instrument because he didn't see the point in playing anymore. If you look at the last sage of Anji, who smashes his instrument and kills himself at the end of the episode, the parallel is right there. Meanwhile, when Keshing and Zhou Jishu use Jiji to refer to each other, the literal meaning is something like knows self, as in someone who understands you as well or better than you understand yourself. It's not inherently romantic, but it totally can be. So the word soulmate is kind of the closest translation that we can get here. That makes more sense. I mean, I get that the soulmate translation works really, really well there. I loved the idea and the parallel of the final sage, like dropping the zither and bringing up the sword and ending up dying. It just, the symbolism was amazing throughout, right? But I really like that explanation, so thank you. The second part they say is later in the marketplace, when they talk about what it means to be a hero and how they both just want to be wanderers instead. Back in episode 1, when Keshing just glances at Zhoujishu and knows that he's enjoying the sunshine. But just because they get each other doesn't mean they're exactly the same. Zhoujishu sees people fighting over the glazed armor and thinks, well, these people are dumb. I want nothing to do with this. He's only involved because of Changling. Meanwhile, when Keshing sees the same thing and goes, these people are dumb. Let's make them even dumber by pouring oil onto the fire. They're on the same page a lot of the time, but there's still a long way to go. And I kind of like that. I feel like, a lot of people say that it's either opposites attract or it's like you have to have the same interests as your partner. And I think that there's so many different ways that relationships can work. I think that to me, you have to have a similar core with that person. Like you both kind of morally have to be on the same page. It's cool to challenge each other, but if they functionally believe something is right and you believe it's wrong, then unless somebody gives, you're always going to be at odds with them, right? So I think that at the end of the day, when Keshing and Zhoujishu both have that core that's the same, but their outlook and how they get there is a bit different. So we got that to look into, right? But then Zhoujishu doesn't care about people who willingly fight and die over greed, just like he doesn't care about Feng Buji's death. But he does seem to care about the innocent people who get caught up in the mess, like Changling and the Four Sages. As he said, the word hero is written in the blood of the innocent. I also think that's a little bit tied to his own guilt because, as we saw in the flashbacks, his actions have caused people to die that were innocent, and he feels guilty about that, and he realizes how wrong it was. So he's had all this self-awareness, and he's like, I really don't want to get involved in anything that's going to do something that I don't like. So good for Zhoujishu and his boundaries, but I thought that was all really interesting. So thank you, Pancake and Anime Annie. Those comments were great. And thank you, everybody, for all of your comments. They've all been wonderful, but those comments stood out from episode 9 going into this week. So... And the thing about it is, I'm sure I will be catching up with comments and stuff for episode 13 and have a lot to go through when we get back. So, as one does. But yeah, I'm super excited about this episode. I've talked for nearly 10 minutes, but I don't know. I would assume we're getting near the Heroes Conference. I don't know if we're going to get the Heroes Conference in this episode or if we're going to wait till episode 13. I just tell y'all, if we end on a cliffhanger... and I have to wait 2 weeks. You won't have to wait 2 weeks because I'm recording ahead. But if I have to wait 2 weeks to watch that episode, it's not going to be pretty. But I guess we'll find out right now. I'm double checking my mic because I recorded something last night and my mic had been turned off. And I was like, oh no. And it sounded like death. So, okay. It says we're good. So that's all right. I hope you all enjoy this episode alongside me. We're going to start at the 1 minute and 48 second mark. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. Huckleberry. Let's go. Episode 12. I know. Oh, we're back here. Yay. We're not moving on yet. Good. Good. The dramatic music. Yes. Oh, when Keshing by the waterside, pondering, reflecting. Zhoujishu, go to him. Go to him now. Yes! Yes! Do it! Oh. That face. Oh, and you offered him a drink? Oh my god. Oh, with the hands. Oh, you guys, indirect kiss. Look, he's like, oh, I want to drink after you. Oh, now we're all about the indirect kiss. He drained it this time. 3-year-old win. Aww. He looks so youthful there. Quickly, tell me why. The child is stupid! I don't care much about him! He reminds you of yourself? Oh. Oh, wow. The courage of solidarity. Oh. I mean, to do something while it's not allowed is basically like a Donmai, right? But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. Oh, the conflict in his face. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that face. Take a chance on me. Take a chance, take a chance. Oh my god! The fist! Oh! Oh! What? Oh my god! You can't walk away after doing that! Oh! Oh! You can't just walk away. Wing caching, what are you going to do with that? The ball is in your court, sir. The ball is in your court. We're going back to that scene. Oh my god. My brain can't keep up with the fangirling that my heart is doing. Oh! Xiang's like, well, shit. I didn't even get hung over this time and I feel like crap. Aw. Huh! Oh, fancy meeting you here. Oh. Well, I kind of fought them. Oh. Oh. And you went to go check on her? Yep, and she wasn't there. Oh, she's poking him. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. He's so sweet. Now, she's like, I fought an assassin, dude. Oh. 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 She's like, huh. Oh. Each of them is more stupid than the previous. She's like, and now for more stupid. Oh. Oh my god. She's like, shit. Crap. The last thing I wanted. Meanwhile, making him do squats over there. Changling's like... I just imagine Changling being like, really? Always in front of his salad. Quit being perfect, Joshishu. Quit being perfect. Every time you turn... Are you fine? He's got blood on his shirt. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. We need to find a secluded place. Oh. Oh. Well, that's not where I thought we were going. Oh, it's never good to keep things inside the body for a long period of time. Is there so many sexual innuendos in this episode? Excuse me? Oh. Yeah, so we should get that out of you so they don't rip you open. Oh, are you going to make them wait till the end of the... Are you going to make them wait? Oh. Bitch. When Kesching's like, picture it. Sicily, 1927. Oh my god! Oh! Which is his dad. Right? We think? Oh. Well, basically, so he's like, I'm kind of Jesus and great. Oh, look at the eyebrow raise! What? You bitches! Wow. And so it's supposed to be young Shinshin and all of them? Interesting. I mean, young Shinshin's easy to pick out. Wow. In his madness. Oh my god. And is this Changling's dad fighting with him? Oh. Oh. Ooh. What? Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. We're getting a lot of exposition. What? So much exposition. And that's his mom. Oh. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh, so he gave it to them for safekeeping. Oh. And then I love it now he's interested in the story. They had a conference. Oh. Huh. Oh. Oh my god. In the Ghost Valley. Oh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. The ghosts swarmed out. Interesting. Huh. Huh. I love how serious he is in this moment. So what happened to make them strong again? 20 years. Interesting. We just got so much exposition to go through. Inglorious Bastards, right? Well, a lot of them probably. Interesting. True, so it seems. He seemed like he was one of the OG friends, but... Is it in the past? Oh, that face! Oh, that face! Shows you she's like, excuse me? Am I just terrified and aroused in this moment? Oh my god. I love them challenging each other. Guzhang's like, I don't know if I should be here. Uh-huh. A mole, you say? Allow me to be rude! Well, nothing stopped you before! Huh. I want Guzhang to say, I was fighting an assassin. I want her to just say it. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah. So, oh. Ooh. Mm. Oh. Oh. Then I'm gonna support you. Oh. Mm. Mm. Is your safety or the glazed armor more important? No, that's not right. Oh. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, when Keshing's like, damn. Mm. He's like, I kind of agree with him, but also, oh. He's like, I will. Oh, I'm more or less considered top tier, just so you know. Kind of a big deal. Mm. Oh. When Keshing's like, I don't want to think about your life ending. Uh-huh. Mm. Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. Why wait until now? Mm. Yeah. Oh. Ooh, for him to say that in front of Win Keshing. Oh, wow. For him to say that in front of Win Keshing. Oh, my God. He's like, let's just go off and live our cottagecore life. Come on now. Oh, you miss. The one we don't really know. She's like, oh, yeah. Oh, hey, sup? Me? Who? Me? Me? I'm a wild girl from the countryside. She's like, let me suck up to you and hope that it works. Friend. Oh my God! Shinshin's like, seriously? Guzhong's like, no, let's not go that far. You are sweet but silly. Miss Goo. Well, it's pretty obvious, right? She's like, help me. Ho 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 ho. To fight an assassin? To kick a woman's ass? Oh, girl. Oh my God, Guzhong! Oh my God, Guzhong. Girl. Oh shit! She's like, oh shit, damn it. Oh! She's like, Sao Wei Ning says I'm a good girl. Oh my God. Oh no! Oh no! She's like, no, don't make this work, don't make this work. Oh. Can she say she fought an assassin? Oh! 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 Oh my God! Oh! He's like, shit. Well, hey. She's like, Ah! Oh, Wing Keshing. We've done it now. Oh, we've done it now. Oh, look at Changling in his new robes. I'm glad they got rid of his blood-splattered ones. Little idiot! Be like Guzhong should be. I love that when Keshing's back in his jade robes. Love that. And Shojishu's back in his peasant robes. Oh. I love Changling in the... Oh. Show's like, I want to hug him. Can I hug him? He's like, I want to hug him. Oh. Oh my god! Your sister, Xiang. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh, you gotta go help Sao Weining and Guzhong now because shit's got real. The scandal. So you want to go make out behind that cart? Oh. Mmm. Mmm. That's the question. That's the question. Oh. Ooh. He's like, no, that actually would have been a great idea, but no. Don't throw dirt on me. Ah! Oh my god! Oh. It always looks like when Keshing is like about to put his hand on Zhou's back. Oh. Oh! 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 That look he gave him! Oh my god, Joshi, she was in the best mood! Wing Keshing, why are you not taking advantage of this? I know you're worried. I'm glad you're worried. But holy shit. Oh, well, good. Glad we got this out of the way. Holy shit. Sal's like, oh. Guzhong's like, hey. Oh. He's like, oh! Oh! Oh my god, bro! She's like, oh my god! She's like, all of you. Oh my god. Oh my god! Can we have nice things? Can we have nice things between these two? Oh, when Keshing's heart is growing. Oh. 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 Besides being handsome, obviously. Oh. These two. Oh my god. Mmm. Oh. 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 These two. Oh. 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 Why do you keep looking at each other like that? Oh my god. Ah! He's like, what's your game? Oh! Oh, he's gonna do it a third time. He's gonna do it a third time. Oh. Oh my God. This is, I can't rationally get through this. I want him to whisper it to him. Oh. Shut. Oh! Oh my God! What? What? Well, you don't look like you were kidnapped by assassins. Oh, you're actually gonna show him. Oh my God, Changling! Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. And these boyfriends are just out on a date. Oh well. Ooh. Ooh. Well, I am a hobo waiting to die. The eyebrow twitch. Oh. Hmm. What's that? Oh. Uh, these two. Aw. He's like, I want to know your hobbies. And that's the end. Yeah, that's the memory. Hmm. Oh, really? Huh. Uh, case closed. Oh. These two are having the best day. I don't like where this is headed. Because it's too soon for them to have the best of times without something bad happening. Oh. 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 Okay. We could just stay here, get a room, you know, do some calligraphy. Ah, yes. Oh. Oh, that face. Oh. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Oh. Mm. In the coffin home and okay. Oh. Oh! What? Are you guys gonna go be murder husbands together? Oh my god. There's nothing. Oh my god! More boring than an unchaotic world. Shit, what? Our murder husband's about to go and wreck shit. Oh my god. Man, Changling's been through the gauntlet. He's like stabbed himself, then stabbed again, been slapped, been kicked, been kidnapped, had water torture. Them little moon boots! I heard you stabbed yourself. She's like, oh, well, thank God. First my fiance in a coma, and now you. He's like, oh, I'm good. Oh. Oh. Bless her heart. Oh. Girl. All right, girl. He's like, okay. Hmm. Okay, girl. Hmm. And Changling's like, well, about that. Oh, do you now? Oh, is it? Are we sure? Oh. Ooh. Oh ho ho. Oh. Oh. Changling's like, come on, Changling, what you go tell her? Changling's like, well, about that. I don't really want to marry you, but okay. Justice for Changling. This kid's. Gushong's like, oh, I met your dad. He's with my dad. I heard everything. Oh. Oh! Oh! Yay! You've got a fool's luck. Oh. Girl, what's she doing? She's like, give me the food, bitch. Uh. Ha! Aw. Oh. She's like, oh, you're a lamb. Good, you remember. She's like, I'm fine. Oh. Oh, that's so precious. She's like, I'm taking this box, though. I'm taking the goods. Uh-huh. Ha! Well, you see. No! Ah! they're like, ma'am, you were talking to yourself and we heard every word of that. So who's this master? What's Ghost Valley? Oh. Oh. Well, they're actually two gay men that want to get as far away from here as possible. I mean, that's the most intelligent thing Shinshin has said this entire series so far. And we're going to ignore it. Okay. Oh. Yes, I'm going to kill you now and take it. Oh! Oh! Oh, we are, aren't we? Shin's like, really, bitch? Really, bitch? You're not subtle. Uh-huh. Here we go. He's like, that's not gonna happen. Oh! Basically, I'm not gonna be in much trouble as you are not. What a mob boss move. Now get it over. Oh. Oh, Shinshin. I'm amazed Shinshin gave it to him that easily. Oh, hey, guys! Oh. Oh. Interesting. Oh, good. Well, actually, Dragon Pool Cabinet. What a cool name. Look at you. I'm like waiting for him to like kill both of them. Oh. 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 Interesting. The immortal died a long time ago. Oh, bitch, don't talk about him. We don't say Rongzhan's name here in this house. Let me tell you some good news. Uh-huh. Yes. It's in this bag with this. Oh, well, I think it's bad things that come in pairs, isn't it? Oh. Painting the flowers like, oh, wow. Ooh, like what Joe was doing at the beginning. Who be this? Who be this? Oh, that bitchin' ring. Who is this man? Who is this man? That is in the finest of dreads. Oh, these two are just frolicking, making out in the woods. What? What? Oh, shit. Right. Oh. A few hours. I mean, did they destroy it themselves? So they wrecked it themselves, probably. Mm-hmm. Probably. That would make the most sense. Oh. Oh. So he knows. Okay, he knows. What is your goal, sir? What? What? Okay, fine. This has been the biggest date episode, and I'm so here for it. Oh, hey! Master, everybody thinks I'm sleeping around with Sao Wei Ning. I hope that's okay. Oh, Sigul, you're still with him? Oh. Oh. Oh, how forward. No. How could I? Oh. Mm. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. That's very weird. Hmm. There won't be any reason for them to kidnap him. Yeah. Hmm. Make up a lie and leave. Oh. Oh. I mean, she's not allowed to watch. Ah. I mind. Well, she's like, well, I want to be serious. Oh. Mm-hmm. She's like, let me be his bodyguard. To protect him. Not to be near Sal Waning, you know. Ah! Ah! Oh my god. Oh, as if they forgot who you were! Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. And his friend. Oh. 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 Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god. You gonna stand up for me? Oh my god. Wait, Keshing's face! Oh my god, when Keshing's like, I'll kill him. Yes. Oh my god. He's like, come on now. Oh my god. Really? Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. When She's like, bless him. Look, he's like a good food critic. Very. Very. Oh. Oh. Oh my god! Wing Keshing, you are eternally screaming! You are eternally screaming! Oh my god. She's like, shut the frick up. Gushang's like, what? Are you dumping me for Sigul? Oh my god. Oh my god! What is this scene? You're gonna stop right there! Oh my god! Yeah. Oh! Oh! Oh, this. Oh! Oh my god! Oh my God. Damn it! I don't think I'm going to have time to watch episode 13 before I leave. And that is so frustrating now because, I mean, it's not the worst cliffhanger. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. I was completely wrong about this episode. I was the most wrong. I was expecting for them to be like all business and be like, well, it's time to go to the Heroes Conference. We need to get everything in order and do something with the Scorpions and then do something maybe with the Changing Ghost. And you know what they did instead? They did a freaking gay romp the entire time, and I am absolutely here for it. Oh my God. This is my favorite episode. I say that every week because episode 11 was amazing, but this is my favorite episode so far. It's just, okay. Okay, and of course Huckleberry was like, why were you freaking out? I was like, why wasn't I freaking out? There's so much to talk about with this episode. There is so much to talk about. I'm making my own ears ring from all the things to talk about. Okay, I want to see where the altered lines are. So 3 minutes and 50 seconds and 32 minutes. Okay, so we've got one at the beginning. All right. Oh my God. Where do we even start at? I don't know where to start at, but this episode was my favorite. I guess we start from the beginning and just work our way through this. So Wing Keqing has this whole discussion about Rongzhan, who I believe is his father. We got a whole big ol' exposition dump at the beginning of this that we're going to have to go back through. Rongzhan's his dad. I'm pretty sure that we've cleared that. We've made that known. The show hasn't confirmed it, but it's basically said everything but that it's his dad. And then not only that, but the fact that I think that talking about his dad and going back to the past and bringing all that up has made Wing Keqing a little melancholy. It's weird. It's so bizarre that this episode was like Bizarro Land. And what I love about it in that way is that usually Zhou is the one who is gloomy and mopey-dopey and like, well, ennui and angst. And when Keqing's like, everything's fine, even though he's a murderous man that knows that it's not. And here, in this episode, everything was sort of reversed. And when Keqing was the one who was being reflective and wondering, I don't know about all this. I have a bad feeling about all this. And Zhou was the one that was cheering him up. And I kind of love that because to me, a sign of like platonic, besties or a sign of soulmates, I'm thinking of something non-sexual and non-romantic necessarily, but the sign of someone that's really your soulmate is when they see you down and they lift you up. And both of these characters do exactly that. When they see the other one down and it feels weird and out of place, they do whatever they need to help lift their spirits. And it was just like a dagger to my heart. I was like, oh, I loved it so much. But yeah, so Wing Keqing at the beginning of this has a little bit of angst to him. He's not, the moon is beautiful and bright out, and he's not like saying, oh, Zhou, oh, Aju, which we'll talk about all of that. He's like, oh, Aju, the moon is so bright tonight, and the stars. He's not like that. He's not being flirty Wing Keqing like he normally is. And Zhou like, hey, what's up, man? You're not your normal self. And that's when he shows up with the wine. These two actors, Gong Jun and Xiang, these actors, I thought Yibo and Zahn were like the micro expressions masters of expressions. These two, they're both gorgeous. They're just so good looking, and I just want to watch this episode over and over again. I could stare at Gong Jun's face for hours in this episode. And then Zhou actor, I could stare at him for hours. They're just so beautiful. And they do such a good job acting in this episode and all the emotions. And then, yeah, so Zhou was like, come on, have a drink. Like 2 episodes ago, he was like, I don't want to share a drink with you. And I don't want your germs and your indirect kisses. And here Zhou like, let me put my mouth on this jar with you. And it's like, just, oh my God. He's like, come on, have a drink. And when Keqing's like, oh, well, why not? And their hands touching when he grabs the gourd. Oh my God. And he drinks all of it, which I thought he was going to do last week. And then, of course, he saves it for now. They're flirting. And just look, Zhou, his actor, whenever he's just like, I I cannot with his flirtatious, his little shrugs and his cat-like expressions. I can't. These men, 3-year-old win. And he says, congratulations on your beloved new disciple. And he's like, hey, you know why I accepted them? And he talks about his master's old saying that the ancient sages said there was courage and energy, blood, backbone, and spirit. And my master promoted the courage of solidarity. To do something even while knowing it's not allowed. That was the first time where he said to do something even while knowing it's not allowed. I was like, is that a veiled reference at this being a Donmai and these being two men that are loving each other even though it's not allowed? Is that like a veiled innuendo at that? I mean, it seems pretty on the nose to trust people even with knowing that their motives are hard to guess. Which kind of goes with him and Lao Win. And he says, for people of our age to reveal our hearts to others is difficult. Yeah, I feel like when you're younger, it's easier to wear your heart on your sleeve and be, genuine to another person because you're young and you're like, oh, we got all this time. But as you get older, your heart can get more jaded and you can get more guarded with yourself. So it can be hard to open up to someone because you've lived long enough to know the cruelties of the world and how people can be. And so you feel like you don't want that rejection or to be tricked, and you don't want that loyalty to be misplaced. So it can be harder. And I feel like Zhou Jishu in this moment is like, look, I know it's hard to trust others, but I'm going out on a limb for you. And I'm like, oh, but him saying that directly to him. And he says, I personally am unable to do it. So Zhou Jishu is like, look, I can't request of you to trust me and to open your heart up to me. I can't do it myself. He's like, that's not me. There's things I can't say. That's why I wanted to take a step out first to do this with Changling. And then he says, I want to take a gamble. And then you are the one that I know. When he did that little fist bump into him, excuse me? So this is the first part that's been changed. And so the altered line for episode 12, at 3 minutes 50 seconds, Zhou Jishu says, I want to take a gamble, and you're the person that I recognize or know, which doesn't make sense. And so what he actually said was, I want to take a gamble. You're the only person that I'll pick. Oh my God! Which goes back to the poem that Win Keqing said last week, where he's like, where they were talking about him being a womanizer, and then says, but actually, I was a womanizer, but now Zhou Jishu's the only one that I'll pick. And Zhou Jishu's like, I'm going to take a gamble, and you're the one that I pick. Soul mates. Oh my God. Are you joking to me? Huh? And just when he does that, and the way that he looks at Win Keqing, and here's the thing, Win Keqing has so many moments where he just looks like he's yearning and looks like he's just in love and has heart eyes. The moment that Zhou Jishu actually says, I'm picking you, it's like Win Keqing malfunctions. It's just like Win Keqing.exe has stopped working, and he's just like internally screaming and like he doesn't know what to do. He's actually giving him these feelings back. And when Keqing's like, are you serious? Are you really giving me these feelings? Because I can do a lot to you right now, but oh my God. And the way that because when Win Keqing gets super serious, he like gets kind of concerned, and he sort of like has this like weird, just kind of emotion that's like, I don't know how to feel. I'm so overwhelmed. And Zhou Jishu, when he's, serious, he has this soft little smile like, hey, you. How are you all still functioning? How are you all functioning after episode 12? How did you make it to episode 37? We still have so long to go. How'd you make it this far? The censors left. They got on a boat. They're on an Alaskan cruise right now. They are nowhere in sight. The censors just packed up and left this episode. And then he just walks up. And then Zhou Jishu has the audacity to do that moment of like, well, I'll pick you. I'll take a gamble on you. And it reminded me of the ABBA song, Take a Chance on Me. If you change your mind, take a chance on me. Like, just, I can see ABBA being edited into this moment. And he has the audacity to do that. And they'd be like, okay, bye. And when Keqing's just left, internally screaming to himself, I cannot, y'all. I cannot. And he hands back the wine bottle. Oh, and the look. The look that when Keshing gives him, when he hands back that look like, if you're being serious, mother trucker, and you're really picking me, he's like, I could take you down right now. We could do this right now. He's like, I don't think you realize how serious I am about my feelings for you, Zhou. We could do this right now. And whenever Zhou says something that is flirtatious to the point of being very seriously flirty, like I pick you or the soulmates line later. And when Keshing is processing that and he's like, I don't think you understand how serious I am. It just feels like when Keshing is holding himself back, like he could ravage Zhou. And he's like, you'd better be damn serious about this. Because if you're leading me on, we're going to have problems. And I'm like, oh my God. I just get chills at this episode. Oh, was when Keshing crying in this moment? It looks like he had tears coming down of his face. It looks, or maybe it was just the glistening sweat on his cheek. Oh, so we have Guzhang next scene. And her arm was hurting from battling the assassin. I wish she would have just told Gao Chong that she'd battled an assassin, but of course, for whatever reason, she is not allowed to mention the assassins, that the Scorpions are part of this. She's not allowed to mention them because remember, as far as Gao Chong and all of them know, they know the window of heaven is here. They know Ghost Valley is involved. They know that, Zhou Jishu and Wen Keshing are a thing. But they don't really know about the assassins, the Scorpions, and they've not mentioned them. So I feel like Guzhang has been instructed by Wen Keshing to not mention the Scorpions because they don't need to mention them until the last minute. Or it's all part of the plan that Wen Keshing has. But I'm going to choke on this coffee. I feel sorry for her. And guess who's been following her? Guess who it is? And it's Cao Weining. Cao Weining. The audacity of this young man. Oh my God. Here's my thing. It took me a while to get here, but I'm finally here. I am so shipping Guzhang and Cao Weining. They are shippable to pieces. Now, Changling and Guzhang are siblings. They are brother-sister vibes. They are brothers and sisters that have been adopted by their gay dads. That is the vibes that they have. But Cao Weining, my sweet lamb, oh, the hot water you are in after all of this. He has just implicated himself, and it's amazing. But here's the thing. He really does like Guzhang so much. He loves her. And what I love about Cao Weining is he's like, I know you went to go help Changling, but you could have gotten hurt. What I love is that Cao Weining is so pure. He doesn't get jealous. He's not jealous of Changling. He's just worried that she would get hurt. And he's like, you need to be careful. And I'm like, dude, you're such a good person. You don't even get jealous. You just don't want her to get hurt and, to get involved. Oh my God. He's just the sweetest. And she's like, and I do think Guzhang likes him. I think she likes him, but I think she also knows that her master does not like him. And that she also, is a ghost and part of an organization. And, I think she's worried that maybe if Cao Weining gets a little too involved, he's a precious lamb and he could get hurt because he's not a fighter. He's a foodie and a lover, not a fighter. He needs Guzhang to save him. And what I would be really curious of is if Cao Weining has like some secret technique or something that he can use, because he's a cultivator in like this really powerful sect. I mean, granted, he's the rabbit among foxes, but it would be really cool if he knew like a secret technique or something and would use it to like, fight alongside Guzhang. Like that'd be really cool. I'd be proud of him for that, But I love that he's so smitten with her and caring, and she's just like, I love her, like her knee-jerk reaction is just to poke him, to be like, you, how dare you? Like that's just her go-to move. It's super cute. And she's like, okay. But you can't be mad at him because he's so sweet. And then she says, it's said the hearts of martial artists are sinister. But since I came out of the valley, I met Zhou, Changling, and Brother Cao. And each of them is more stupid than the previous. I love that she's like, I was told that all of these martial artists were sinister men that were dangerous, but these three lambs. I love that Zhou is the least dumb, and then it's Changling, and then it's Cao. Ah! I love she's so happy about that fact. And then they're like, oh, the master wants to see you. And she's like, son of a bitch. I love it. And this guy that gets her to go up to see Gao is the one that later on is like, hey, bro. And Sao Ning's like, I had to get you out of trouble. Oh, that scene. Oh, I was not expecting that scene. I love Gu Zhang's face when she gets summoned. She's like, shit, son of a bitch. My incognito plan has been ruined. Most of this episode is just Zhou and Wen Kexing go on a date. They just frolic in the woods, go on a date. It is the most wholesome romantic thing, and I've been waiting all this time. We're only on episode 12. We're only on episode 12 and we're getting this. Although I feel like just like in episode, what was it? Episode 9. I feel like this series is like, here's some really good things, and now we're going to dump like trauma on you next week. And I'm like, no, because we haven't got the Heroes Conference yet. I thought we were getting that this episode. I thought we were getting it. I would have put money down. So they're trying to figure out what to do. And Xiangling's like, look, I want to go back to the Alliance. And that's when Kexing comes in and says, oh, well, you're more conscientious than your master. And Zhou Zishu's like, hey, let's just leave. We don't have to go back to that sect. They're kind of all, maybe not the most trustworthy. Let's just take the glazed armor and go. If they can't get the glazed armor back, then they can never open it. And he's like, it's a big world. The three of us can go wherever we want to. And when Kexing is really pleased with that, he's like, oh, we can go wherever we want. Oh, that's nice. All right. He's like, but we need to find a secluded place to take out what's inside Xiangling and just leave it. It's never good to keep objects. Okay, this is the second part. It's never good to keep objects inside the body for long periods of time. At some point, you're going to have to pull out. I was like, are we... What? I cannot, y'all. I cannot. So Xiangling's like, look, we're going to take the thing back. So we're going to take the glazed armor back. And Xiangling is adamant that they take the glazed armor back and not go. Right? And so Xiangling's like, I think that we need to just leave. And Xiangling's like, no, the Ghost Valley annihilated my entire family just to get the glazed armor. And Zhou's like, well, that's just proof that this isn't a good object. We need to leave. And he's like, well, my dad died because of the glazed armor. The Heroes Conference is about to start. Gao's going to use this event to announce all the glazed armor's history of the world. And when Kexing's like, hey, before you hear this story from Gao's perspective, how about I tell you my perspective? And I was like, oh. And this whole time as the story's going on, Zhou Zishu is like looking over going, oh, this is your side of the story. Okay. He's like, I'll tell you the history. I can just tell you myself. And then I love that when Kexing turns to the camera and he's like, picture it. It's like we're about to enter flashback mode. I hope you're ready. Regarding this mess, no one in the world knows better than I do. Well, I'd imagine you do because you're probably his son and you probably know all about it. So I like that they had younger actors play the young versions of the brothers. He's like, he appeared out of nowhere and made himself a big name in the martial arts world. So we find out a little bit about Rongzhan. We find out a little bit about him, right? We find out that he showed up with a sword and a dream. He showed up with a dream with all of these other brothers. And of course, I love that they hired an actor that kind of looks like Wen Kexing, but a little different. He has like the same hairdo. He was the mountain ceiling sword. Interesting. So we'll call him the mountain ceiling sword. Did we hear that name before? Did the swords that Zhou Zishu got from his master, were they connected to this man? That's a rhetorical question. I don't remember if it was or not. I feel like it might be. We might have to go back to that at some point. But it says this man by the name of Rong had a perplexing theory. He looks so much like Wen Kexing, right? He said that all the martial arts in the world came from the same source. And if you could discard your selfishness and collaborate and learn, they would be able to create an unprecedented master branch. So basically he was like, what if world peace? So we had a dream that all martial arts came from the same source. And basically world peace. If we could all just get along, the world would be a better place. Again, I like that we have the 5 brothers, and you can see the guy in the back with the white robes kind of looks a little bit about like Xiang, so like his actor, so I'm assuming that's Xiangling's dad. And then the one guy looks like young Shin, and I'm like, okay. Then we have the one guy in blue that kind of is wearing the same robes as the twin kids, so I'm guessing he's the one that was killed off screen. And then we see the middle brother, and then we see the guy that's supposed to be Gao. So, I mean, their actors do a good job of looking like the younger versions of them, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. So, this perplexing theory managed to impress a crowd of people. So, we have Liu Taichung and Zhao Jing. Okay. So, oh, wow. So, that's not them. I was wrong on that one. Interesting. I like the Zhao Jing. Here's the thing. Zhao Jing's actor is the one that does the, like that face? What a snake. We can't trust him. We can't trust him. No. Interesting. And then we have Gao Chong. Well, now Gao Chong, his actor, and then, I mean, young Shin looks so much like him. Yep. And then we have Zhang Yusin in his youth. So he doesn't look a lot like, I was wrong on him. Interesting. Yep. And it was not as stagnant as it is today. I love them all just practicing. It's great. These 5 guys, and Rongzhan's like dancing around, and then they're all like getting drunk, getting crunk, just being bros in the frat. It's great. They followed him in his madness, striving to change traditions. I love the idea that his madness is his dream. And the thing about it is, it's not anything sinister. He wanted to do something really, really good, but it's called madness because, you know, humans, world peace, what? But they were also trying to change tradition. I love it. Now, of course, we have to also keep in mind, this is all from Wen Kexing's point of view. So Gao Chong could have a very different perspective about Rongzhan, right? I think it's so interesting. Meanwhile, it looks like, Wen Kexing's dad, or who we think Rongzhan is the one practicing with Xiangling's dad. Interesting. Oh, so are all these fans or books? He fell deeper and deeper into his dream and searched the secret scrolls in any way possible, whether by trickery or violence or deception. Okay, and he used to be an outstanding young youth in the martial arts world, but gradually he became the rat that everyone would shout at and beat up. Which is really sad. I hate that he went from being somebody with this dream to being someone that everybody just kind of like looked down upon and beat up. So the next part they just rushed through as fast as they could. And I was like, all this exposition. So he ends up, fortunately, he married the great disciple of the Miracle Healer Valley. So Miracle Healer Valley disciple. And she's the one that pulls him out of the one room, it looks like. Right? So we see him and it says, Yu Fang Air, the fairy Ganoderma, to be his wife. She's very pretty. Right? Okay. So, Yu Fang Air. The fairy I don't know what Ganoderma means. But fairy, I mean, she looks so pretty. I want to look up what Ganoderma means. Ganoderma. Oh, it's a fungi. Oh, it's a fungus. Interesting. Like a fairy mushroom? Like she's a fairy shroom? The fairy shroom of Yu Feng Air. So I'm interested in why Wen Kexing, how he got the surname Wen, if he's the son of Rongzhan and Yu Feng Air. If he's their son, why is he Wen Kexing? So I'm curious about that, but maybe he's not their son. But I mean, I'm curious why he has the name Wen. I mean, although he was girl, I don't blame you. She saved him from the jaws of death. I love it. The heavens were blind. And after several years, this group of ignorant people finally collected the countless secret scrolls and created a place called the World's Armory in a secret place. So they all created this secret armory, and Rongzhan created many traps outside to keep people from it. And then he divided the key into these 5 parts to hide everything in the armory and gave them to his strongest friends for safekeeping. Okay. Interesting. All right. Cool. The little piece that Xiangling had looks really small in comparison to the other ones. Curious. Okay. So if one wants to open the World Armory, they have to have all 5 pieces. Not one can be missing. I like that Zhou Jishu goes from not giving a shit about this armory in the first couple episodes to now being like, tell me more, right? What then? And then everything that you know happened. The 5 Lakes Alliance held this martial arts conference, calling all the heroes to kill the madman who had been poisoned. And Rongzhan was forced to leave Mount Qingyuan after countless people. I like that they all stand beside. Here's the thing. When you look at the group of all of them there, you can see, okay, here's the thing. When you look at all of them, you see Xin, you see the one guy, you see Zhao Zhang. The one that is Changling's dad, he looks mortified that Rongzhan's about to end his life. Or is that Gao Zhang? I think that's Gao Chong because, oh, yes, they said in the last episode that Changling's dad was not there. That's why there's only 4 of them. Changling's dad wasn't there. He didn't arrive in time to help. So the other 4 watched him die. Yeah, okay. And he was by the demarcation stone at Ghost Valley. Interesting. Okay. So then, of course, the question is, what happened to Wen Kexing and what happened to his mom, presumably. Or maybe Wen Kexing's not his biological son and he was just a disciple, kind of like Zhou Jishu and his master. Who knows? And so then, Chengling asks, well, why is my knowledge different than yours? And he's like, well, because your dad and them had more to the story. I just have my part. So the ghosts in Mount Qingya swarmed out after the suicide and started a huge battle with the martial arts heroes. Interesting. I don't exactly know yet. We don't really know the origin of the ghosts. Like if the ghosts of Ghost Valley have like a specific origin. Here's the thing too, is that even if, so the ghosts were around. The ghosts were around during all of this fight, right? So who was their leader? Was it the tragicomic ghost? Who was their leader and how did Wen Kexing get involved? That is the question. How did he get involved? How did all this go down? We don't exactly know. But the battle between the ghosts were fought. And then he says there was many deaths and injuries on both sides. The righteous martial arts heroes lost a large part of their people and the Ghost Valley greatly weakened. I like that Zhou Jishu is just sitting there piecing it all together. And I love how Wen Kexing gets super serious, like, and is like, has the crazy eyes during all of this. I feel like the Ghost Valley maybe was diminished in terms of power until Wen Kexing came back along and was like, I'm going to avenge my dad. Want to help me? And they're like, of course. 20 years of peace to the martial arts world. Every survivor had a loved one who died in battle. I love that we're getting this vulnerable story from Wen Kexing, and you can tell that there's some vulnerability there, and Zhou Jishu's just kind of like processing it and figuring out what to think about it. And so the battle was started for ignominious reasons, and the ending was inglorious. So it's just a bloody, stupid battle, and that's why everybody keeps it a secret. And so, of course, Changling's like, so all the people that died were greedy. And he's like, well, 20 years ago, if they'd opened the armory as they hoped, then Mirror Lake Sect probably wouldn't be destroyed as it has been now. So it's like, if they had gotten the armor together, we probably could have avoided all of this stuff now. But they probably couldn't decide on one person to get the armory. So it all split up, and then that was that. Interesting. So Changling's like, I'm going to take the glazed armor back. And Zhou Jishu's like, well, it's all in the past now, so we should just let it go. I like that when Keshing says, is it all in the past? That part was great. Because when Keshing looking back at Zhou Jishu's like, hey, past is the past. We got to move on forward. It's fine. Which is kind of ironic for Zhou Jishu to say because of his past, he's killing himself with the 7 nails. It's like, really, do you truly believe that? Because if you really believe that the past is the past and it doesn't matter now, you wouldn't be killing yourself with the nails. You would have let that go and move forward, but instead you're trying to atone for the past instead. And I like how when Keshing here is like, oh, I'm supposed to forget about all that in the past. I love when they challenge each other. When Zhou Jishu and when Keshing challenge each other, it like normally it makes me feel like nervous for couples, but here I'm like, no, challenge each other, babes. You challenge each other. It's great. He's like, not necessarily. And Zhou Jishu's like, I feel like the moment he says, oh, is it over? No, I don't think so. And Zhou Jishu's like, ooh. He's like, damn, this man is serious. And I'm here for it. I love it. So meanwhile, we have Gao Chong trying to confront where's Changling and gone. And Gu Zhang, I feel for her. I feel for Gu Zhang so much because she's like, I don't want to be here. She's like, shit, the whole time. Basically, this was not Gu Zhang's episode. Poor girl. This was not her episode. So we cut back to Changling and Zhou Jishu's like, you little idiot. I said so much, but it was as if I was playing the lute to a cow, which is a Chinese saying meaning like basically it fell on deaf ears. You're not listening, kid. Do you hear what I'm saying? And of course, when Keshing's like, well, you know the origin of the glazed armor and the bad intentions of these people. So why would you want to go back? And Changling's like, well, because the guarding the glazed armor is my dad's last wish. And I know that many people are involved, but no matter how useless I am, how can I stay out of the way just for my own safety? And the Heroes Conference is about to start, so I'm the only one left to represent my sect. I love how when Keshing gets really concerned for Changling in this episode, because Changling's like, look, I told my dad I'd protect the armor, but if I take it with me, one, Changling's like, I'm putting myself in danger. And two, even if I save myself, I'm putting more people in danger by not having the glazed armor turned over to the 5 lakes, because then people are going to keep killing other people to try to find it. And I'm just going to cause innocent people to die, like with the fake glazed armor, which sounds really stupid. And you wonder if when Keshing is mulling that over in his mind, if he's making that connection. So he's like, I have to go. And I'll just get it. He's like, otherwise my clan will be removed from the martial arts world. And Zhou's like, hey, he's like, you're really responsible. You're a really good kid. And that's really great and all. He's like, if you decide that you want to go back, then, listen to my advice first. He says, give the glazed armor back. And Changling is like, well, why would I give it back? And he's like, because. He's like, my father and the 5 lakes were locked in this battle for 20 years because of the glazed armor. And Zhou Jishu's like, what's more important, your safety or the glazed armor? And Changling immediately says the glazed armor. And I love that Zhou Jishu says, no, it's you. He's like, there's nothing more important than life. Which, again, irony of all ironies, he's saying that as he has sentenced himself to die. I'm like, sir, excuse me. And so then when Keshing, stands up and says it's ignorant people who create things for themselves. And Zhou Jishu's like, what do you think of my martial arts skills? He's like, well, yeah, I am kind of a big deal. He's like, I am top tier, but it's only because I've learned from other people and traveled the world. He's like, you can spend your entire life in one place, but you may not be able to fully master a martial arts study. So he's like, each person's given a kind of martial art. What can be done? He's like, that's just human greed. And so then he says, you know what? It's not the armory that your dad clung to. It's not the armory he clung to, but it was the brotherhood. If your father actually wanted to open the armory, he would have done so 20 years ago. What's the point of waiting till now? He's like, just give the piece back to the other 5 Lakes Alliance members. It's what they want. Rongzhan's passed away, so your father has also become a martyr. Don't become one too. He's like, if they could see you in the underworld, they must hope that they can be relieved from what happened 20 years ago and that you'll keep continuing living your life. And at that point, it cuts back to Keshing, and Keshing's just over here like, is my dad looking at me from hell and being disappointed? And I'm like, ah! So I feel like even though Jojishu is like, look, give the armor back to them, let them fight it out, let them fight amongst each other. We all know that it's not going to end well for them. We've seen what that will do. Just give the armor to him and just be gone of the matter. Your dad just wanted the armor to stay with the 5 lakes, so just let it happen and let's go. And we'll just peace out and go live a good life and you can be my disciple and whatever. He's like, none of them would want you to keep on carrying a trouble and getting coveted and robbed. And Keshing, meanwhile, is in the background having an existential crisis from what Jojishu is saying. He's just sitting there mulling it all over like, shit, have I done everything wrong? Should I be leading a murder group? Like, ah! So, some people let their lives revolve around greed, but I have no control over them. But you're someone that I can't influence. So take my advice, throw this trouble out, and let them scramble. I wonder if Keshing clearly has an overarching plan in all of this, and it's being set in motion. But I did wonder in that scene if Keshing was going to go back to Jojishu at some point and be like, but I like being greedy when it comes to you, or some romantic shit or something like that. Speaking of romantic, can we talk about Sao Weining? Because Gao basically figures out, Guzhong, bless her heart, assassin of the century, but she's just like, who, me? I love when she was like, who you thinking is responsible? Me? I have nothing to do with this. Like, I loved her trying to work her way out of it and trying to like go around the question, but she's just not smooth like Keshing. She's just not smooth like her dad's. It's not working out. And she's about to get taken away for questioning. And that's when Sao Weining, well, first, Zhao Lian tries to come in and help, but she makes matters worse because she's like, oh, well, Guzhong's no Changling forever. And Guzhong's like, well, that makes me look even more suspicious. Like, you're sweet but silly, Zhao Lian. So everything's going downhill. She's like, you're saying things that you shouldn't say. And right about that time, that's when Sao Weining comes in. And he's trying to help out the situation. And he tries to give an alibi as Guzhong's like, shit, I don't know what to say. And then here comes Sao Weining. And I love, my favorite part is that Sao Weining is like, I can help. And it pans over to Zhao Lian. She's like, no, bitch, don't. What are you doing? She's like, you're about to make it worse. Because she's like, oh no, he's not smart. He's going to say something incredibly dumb. She's like, this is not going to go well. This is so funny. And Guzhong's like, are you going to help me? And he's like, well, it's my fault. And Shin is over here. Like, he thinks he's Nancy Drew. He's like, whoa, what do you mean, Sao Weining? What are you doing? And Gao Chong kind of knows. He's like, no. He's like, don't try to put blame on yourself. Don't take the blame. He's like, Guzhong, where were you last night? Tell me the truth. And she's just about, obviously, she can't say she was fighting an assassin. But what else is she going to say? And so Sao Weining is like, she was with me the whole night last night. He says, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe they went there. I was like, it'd be funny if you said that she was with you last night. I can't believe that they went there. Oh my God. And Guzhong's like, what? I feel like Guzhong's not mad at him. She's just like, what? Like, what? That's what you came up with? Everyone's reactions where she's like, shit. She's like, oh no. Saying we were together. Shin at that point stands up like, thought, be gone. Oh my God. And then the one guy's like, bro. Just, and everybody's looking around like, oh my God. And Zhao Lian's like, oh my God. I love Gao Chong's like, son, what'd you just say? You were with a lady before marriage? And Sao Weining's like, Everything about this scene is glorious. And then he looks over to Guzhong like, I am so sorry that I just said that. It's the only thing. And Guzhong's like, I mean, I mean, it could be worse. That is the best. The best. Meanwhile, our gay dads have gotten Changling a set of fresh Easter Sunday clothes. And like the most beautiful pastel yellow and baby blues. They're so cute. And they're like, all right, remember, just do your best to make others know that the glazed armor is no longer with you. I love that Zhou Jishu is like, look, just let them know they don't need to be tracking and kidnapping you anymore because you don't have the glazed armor. Okay? Cool. We're all good. Sorry, you're going to take that out. I also love Changling's little braid that goes under his ponytail. Adorable. Adorable. And he's like, when the heroes conference. I love that Zhou Jishu's like, I'm dropping you off, man. Be good for the next couple days. Me and Wen Kexing, we're going to go have some alone time. Some much needed makeup time. I was not expecting this though. And I love when Wen Kexing, I love the subtitles. I'm going to take a picture of that screenshot because that's just killing me. I caught it right as Changling's like rolling his eyes, but not intentionally. I love Wen Kexing when he calls him little idiot, and Wen Kexing being concerned for Changling. How far we've come for Wen Kexing to be concerned for Changling. Because all this time he's been like, oh, he's a little idiot. Why does Zhao Jishu keep him around? Oh, how the tables have turned. And then he says, don't talk about things that have nothing to do with you. And when you're asked, shake your head and say you don't know. And he's like, the leaders of the Five Lakes Alliance are cunning. You don't need to care what kind of tricks they're playing. Just ignore them and keep silent. You just have to show up at the Heroes Conference. And Changling says yes. And then he gives him a hug in the most sweet way possible. Like he just gives him a hug in that moment. Zhou Jishu's like, oh, no hug for me. Your master. Okay. I know why he didn't. But I don't think Wen Kexing was expecting a hug. Because he just kind of like is like, oh. Like it's so cute in that moment. And then he's like, oh, thanks, Uncle Wen. And Zhou Jishu's like, okay. And he's like, join us afterward and we'll stay together forever. When he says we'll stay together forever and with Sister Xiang, and was Zhou like, okay, hold on. I love that Changling's like, please don't break up with my master. Please stay with us forever. Come on, Uncle Wen. And Zhou Jishu's like, hold on now. I loved that. That was so cute. He's like, enough, Changling. He's like, don't act overly fussy as your Uncle Wen does. They're a freaking married couple. They are a married couple right now. And he's like, if you need anything, go to your sister Xiang. I just love this family. Zhou has adopted Changling. Wen Kexing has adopted Gu Zhang. They're now like stepbrother and stepsister with their two dads. It's just, oh my God, it was so precious. It's so precious. I love those guards the whole time are like, hey, sup, bro? Welcome back. You might want to get inside before Cao Wangning gets skinned alive. And then the way that Zhou Jishu, can we talk about his perfectly chiseled jaw? It is like immaculate. But the way that he looks over and looks at Wen Kexing, and Wen Kexing looks so concerned, the way he looks at him, you could frame that screenshot in a damn museum. He's like, oh, what's wrong? Like, when did Zhou Jishu get this soft? When did he get this soft? When did this happen? Did I miss something? Did he drink something in that booze bottle? What's happening? And Wen Kexing's like, there's not a good thing about the Five Lakes Alliance. He's like, I'm worried about him. Because, yeah, Wen Kexing's like, my dad died at their hands. And who knows what happened to his mom. We know she died, but he's like, I'm worried. The note that tempted Changling had Zhu written on it. How'd they know about your relationship with Changling and the name Zhao Zhu? So, Zhu Jishu is like, well, you know what? The Window of Heaven and the Scorpions wouldn't have known this name. The only person that I know knows about this name is you. And when Kexing's like, and that's when Zhou Jishu turns around and has this suspicious look on his face, like he's like, so could it have been you who revealed it? And when Kexing's like, bro, I've committed many sins and many murders, but I'm not even responsible for this. And I like for a hot second though, when Kexing goes, did I? There's a moment where he looks over like, did I do that? It's like, I love when he's like, I don't think I did that. I've done many things, but I don't think that was one of them. He's like, when we sent Xiangling to the Five Lakes Alliance, you mentioned the name Zhou. So he's like, you mentioned the name. Don't throw dirt on me. It wasn't my responsibility. And then Zhou Jishu's like, oh, well, I just am smiling. I want to rewatch this episode 1,000 times. I know you all understand, but he's like, it's fine. An innocent man's only guilt is that he holds a treasure. So the people that hired the 4 scorpions are just trying to get the glazed armor. So now that Xiangling gave it away, he should just be an orphan. And after the Heroes Conference ends, we'll take him far away. Or he says, I'll take him far away. But then he looks over, and I can't believe how far we've come from like 2 episodes ago, where he looks over at him like, hey, you know, you want to come with me when I take Xiangling away? This episode, their expressions. We're not even to the whispering part yet. And the way that Zhou Jishu looks him up and down, like whenever Zhou Jishu sees that he's concerned, he's like, hey, I'm going to make this all better. And I'm like, he's like, let's go. You're acting like an old mother sending her son away. And he's like, well, where are we going? And he's like, oh, to drink and sunbathe. He's like, we're going on a date, bitch. We can do whatever. And when Keshing's like, okay, I should be wanting this more than anything in the world, but I am worried about Xiangling. So yeah, luckily, everybody leaves Sao Weining. Everybody leaves Sao Weining and Guzhang just in time to go see Xiangling. And I love the look on Zhao Lian's face, like, how you getting yourself out of this, sir? And Guzhang's like, And Sao Weining's like, I love the guy that's like, bro, for real? It's so funny. He's like, I already knew that you liked this girl, which admitting it, like, now Guzhang knows that Sao likes her, which is, I'm so happy. And he's like, but to stealthily let this relationship develop so quickly, and Guzhang's like, oh my God. Like, just, And Sao Weining's like, I love that Guzhang's like, just poking him like, how dare you, sir? I love she pokes him like, really? And he's like, I'm sorry. And then Guzhang's like, or Zhao Lian's like, don't poke him so much. Meanwhile, we're on a date and they're sunbathing and drinking. They are day drinking on a date. It is the most glorious thing in the world. But Wen Kexing is having, I like that this should be Wen Kexing's dream. Wen Kexing is getting to have an afternoon with his soulmate, and he should be living this up, but he is just awash in ennui, being like, to do something even while knowing it's not allowed, and to trust people even when knowing that their motives are hard to guess. And he looks over at Zhou Jishu and then's like, fine. It says, Aju, why don't you dare to bet that I'm the one you know? I love that he goes back to this in this moment. Am I good or am I bad? There's a show called Attack on Titan, and one of the characters in the show has this obsession with whether or not they're a good person, and it's in season 1, so it's not much of a spoiler, but the character asks constantly to this one character, they're like, am I a good person? And what we, the audience, don't quite know at the time with this character is that they've done some pretty shitty things, and they're hiding that. And so the person that they care about thinks that they're a good person. They're like, but am I? Because if you knew the stuff that I did, would you still think that I'm a good person? And that person's like, well, it's not really fair for me to say, you know, whether you're good or bad or not, because I'm not exactly, you know, a perfect person myself. So it's interesting. I do really like the fact that Wen Kexing wants to know if Zhou Jishu really thinks he's a decent person. He's like, I'm dying of curiosity. He's like, I know I'm handsome, obviously. And so then he's like, you have a silly look. I'm like, these two, just slay me right now. Stab me with a spoon. He says, I've spent a lot of time in various places experiencing battles. If I can't tell the good from the bad people, then wasn't my life wasted? So it's kind of like Zhou Jishu's like, you know what? If I'm trusting you and having dinner with you, then obviously you're a good person. Otherwise, I wouldn't waste my time. And in that moment, for when Keshing to smile and say, you think I'm a good person? And then it's so cute. He's like, a bad person could immediately be absolved of all the crimes as long as he puts down his sword. But if a good person does one bad thing, should he have to live the rest of his life unable to live past that? That's such an interesting phrase. That's so crazy. Because he's like, look, if a bad person is truly bad, then as long as they quit doing their sins, things will clear up. But a good person can do one thing wrong and they're going to spend the rest of their lives absolving for it. So he's like, the fact that you keep being worried about the fact of whether I consider you a good person or not shows that you're a good person. Because if you're bad, you wouldn't care. And so, he's like, that doesn't make sense. And when Keshing just sang, so I am a good person, he's like, it turns out I am good. I'm like, the fact that it just took Zhoujishu to say it. The fact that he's like, I just need my soulmate to tell me that I'm a good person and I'll believe it. Y'all. He's like, but you're wrong. He says, I'm more than a good man. I'm philanthropist wins. It's like he makes a poem out of it. And Zhoujishu's like, okay, philanthropist wins. Stop messing around. Oh my God. And then he says, Aju, this mother trucking scene, can we talk about it? I know I'm almost an hour in, but we need to talk about it. He says, Aju. And he says, what? And then he gets closer. He steps over his way. At this point, when he says, Aju again, the censors slowly opened up a suitcase. They slowly started packing their things. And then he says it, and Zhoujishu's like, now, stop calling me that. And then he gets even closer and leans in as intimately as he can and says, Aju a third time. And Zhoujishu shudders. The censors close the suitcase. The censors hail a taxi, wave it down as Zhoujishu has a near orgasm from being said his name in whispers. He's like, all right, philanthropist win. He's like, that can't be our safe words. No, please shut up. Don't call me that again. Are you trying to call my soul back? The translation: in ancient times, illness was believed to be caused by the soul departing. Aju is saying that when Keshing is saying his name so much, it's as if he's trying to call his soul back. He's about to have an orgasm from when Keshing saying his name. And so he's telling him to stop. But then the censors hailed the taxi, got in the taxi, drove to the next country, and just decided to stay there for the rest of this episode. Because then, the way that Zhoujishu looks when Keshing up and down, like just looks him up and down in that moment, as when Keshing's like, oh, well, I'm just going to sit here, sunbathe in front of you like Adonis, like a Greek statue. And he's like, I just feel that to be alive, being warmed by the sun, and having someone for me to call. And it feels so nice. He's like, just the fact that I can call your name and you answer. And he just sits there like, look at how beautiful I am, Aju. Like, look how gorgeous I am. Let me sunbathe in front of you and let you soak it all in. Soak it in that this is what you got in the palm of your hand. And I'm like, oh my God! And so that's exactly what he does. And Zhoujishu soaks it in. He soaks it in. And it says, it indeed is. And when he grips that wine bottle and closes his eyes for the most minute second, letting that sensuality seep in like a sponge absorbing water, and he grips that wine bottle and says, Lawin. And he does the same thing back to him, and he smirks and says, Lawin. If I wasn't being filmed on camera, I'd be in the floor in a puddle, but I don't want to damage the equipment. Oh my God. And the way he stares at him, and then when Keshing's like, yes, what? Excuse me? Did you say my name? And he leans in like full body, core tightened, leans in like he's going to kiss him, and then just smiles and says, Lawin. The censors, they just vanished. they vanished. They left. They're not coming back to this country. They're on holiday. It's over. Oh my God, I cannot. These two. There's no heterosexual explanation for any of this scene. Any of this scene. Not one bit. When the censors watched this, they were like, what good friends. Like that, you don't look at people like that. You don't stare into someone's eyes with that much sensuality after you've said their name in orgasmic whispers. And then be like, let's drink. You don't do that. That's not how this works. If that's how it works in China, I'm getting a ticket now. And I'm heading over there. But no. And then cheers. That is one of the most romantic outwardly scenes I've ever seen in cinema. And you're here to tell me that they're just friends drinking. Okay. All right. I'm a mess after this, y'all. A mess. So while these two are canoodling and getting to know each other, Changling is being his most brave self. And I do find the parallel between when Changling opens up his robes to take out the glazed armor and stab himself with it. The parallel is not lost on me going back to Zhou Jishu putting the nails in when he revealed the nails to Jin. Like, that is not lost on me. The parallels are definitely there. But man, this whole scene where he cuts it out, I freaking love it. Like, Changling is such a badass. Like, what a warrior. I love him. And he takes it out and he's like, here we go. And drops it in, a piece of the glazed armor. Meanwhile, the dads are day drinking again. They're chilling out, having drinks. And so when Keshing's like, do you have any hobbies? What do you do in your spare time? Now, here's the thing. Zhou Jishu kind of side glances like, spare time? What spare time? Because he's like, I'm slowly dying, right? So I think that when Keshing's like, so when we run off together, what are we going to do? Are we going to go fishing? Are we going to do you just want to have sex all day? He's trying to figure out how are we going to make this work? What are you going to do? He's like, in my spare time, I like to murder people. What do you like to do in your spare time? So it's like, so he's trying to figure that out. The funny thing is, the not so funny thing is that Zhou Jishu doesn't think he has a lot of spare time. He's just kind of living in the moment because he thinks he's going to die in a couple of years. So he doesn't really want to get into his hobbies, but he talks about when he was younger that he wanted to, he liked to fish and stuff and do things like that, but he was also always training. So he didn't have a lot of time for hobbies. And when Keshing says, you are the other family's child from the legends, the translation note says a Chinese cultural joke is that the outstanding children are always someone else's, not your own. This is because Chinese families tend to compare their children with others' children. Ah, okay. So I thought it was interesting that we had Zhou Jishu, and Zhou Jishu talks about that when he was younger, he was very serious about martial arts, which Zhou Jishu serious about something. But his master wanted him to play more and be more of a kid. Then you have when Keshing, who conversely was not serious about martial arts and was kind of maybe not the most talented at it, and instead was being told that he should, practice and get better. So they kind of came at it from very different angles, right? Which I think is interesting in all of this. That you have when Keshing, who ends up being really strong despite not being serious, and Zhou Jishu kind of lacking the childhood because he was so serious. I love it. It's like we played in the grass and played in the ice. And then we had the snow and him. When my master forced me to play, I would seek help from his wife, who would criticize him. And I love that when Keshing almost seems to liken being like, oh, well, so you were likening yourself to the wife. Well, funny that. You likened yourself to the wife? Well, I'd liken myself to your master who liked to play a lot. See, your master and his wife, they were a match made in heaven. You and I, match made in heaven. We got this. And he says, case closed. I've been wondering how this world could possibly have such a wonderful master. And then he says, isn't it obvious your master wanted to play outside? But he was worried that his wife would scold him, and that's why he took you along, so that you would take the blame. And I don't know, Zhou Jishu, whenever he smiles and has like a genuine laugh moment, I want to just capture it and bottle it up because it's so beautiful. I love it. He's like, well, why didn't I think of that? Oh, reasonable. Oh, the flirting between them is so beautiful. I love it. I love it. And then in that moment, he's like, when I was a child, I couldn't play when I wanted to. And they talk about how different they are. So then he's like, we have to find something else to enjoy before the Heroes Conference. He's like, we can't just stay here. I mean, unless you want to get a room or something. And I cannot believe, after everything that's happened, that Zhou Jishu thinks it over. What should we do? And he's like, have you ever suffered a loss, Lo Wen? And he's like, well, why do you ask that? And he says, well, I have no great ability and often suffer losses. And I love that when Keshin gets the concerned look back on his face, like, you suffer a loss? What? And he says, however, each time I suffer a loss, I'll be sure to claim back what I lost the next time. He's like, and this is the first time I've suffered repeatedly. So, within the same matter, he's like, yeah, the scorpions. And then when Keshing's like, well, the nest was hard to find. He's like, oh no, I know where the base is. He's like, I've been there before. And then he says, he looks at Wen Keshing and says, La Wen, well, how about going to the venomous scorpion's base and making a big mess? And when Keshing's like, you got me a present? You're speaking my language? I can't believe he suggested that. And he goes, Aju, didn't you find out that there are 6 words to describe me? I love this so damn much. And he says, I only fear an unchaotic world. That describes him to a T. He's like, my only fear is that things won't be chaotic. So, of course, let's go do some anarchy. Oh, my God. I love it. I love everything about this. It's amazing. Having the most fun. They're drinking, cheersing. It's great. So Changling wakes up, and then Zhao Lian comes to see him, and she's like all tear-stained and worried about him. I'm very curious with Zhao Lian, because I feel like she's a sweet girl. I thought she really, really, really liked the guy in a coma, and in this scene, she seemed like Changling jumped up a couple notches for her. So she tries to say, my dad, don't worry about him. He's really gracious for you giving back the glazed armor. That's really awesome. And we're supposed to get married. So she's like, now that you're kind of brave, I'm kind of more attracted to you. And Changling's like, neat. So, and I want to like Zhao Lian, but I feel like, I don't think her and Changling are the best match. Now, I do view Changling and Gu Xiang more as like siblings now, but I don't know. I don't know if I see him being with Zhao Lian by the end of this. I just don't know. Because she seems like she's got a lot of issues going on that she needs to sort out. But, she's really glad that he was brave and kind of proud of him and everything. And Changling is so sweet. He's like, now that he's got, a new master and everything, he's like, the wound grew up. It's fine. I'm totally okay. Like, he's just grown so much confidence over the last couple episodes. It's great. I love it. And so as she leaves, that's when Gu Xiang shows up and she's like, sup? Sup, bro? What's up? And he's like, oh, I'm glad to see that you're safe. I love it. Changling is so tiny. I know he's 15, but he's such a tiny little boy. He really looks his age. You know how in some shows, there's like a character, like the actor is clearly 27 and they're like, I'm 16. And you're like, you're 27. But here, the actor is actually 15 and bless his heart, he looks it. He just looks his age. He looks so young. It's very sweet. Like, I would believe Gu Xiang's actress is at least 20. I believe she'd be a little bit older. But she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, did you hear everything we just said? And she's like, absolutely. She's like, of course. And she says, was it my master who saved you? It's like, why did you return to this damn place? And he says, well, it was Master and Uncle Wen. And when he said master, I love Gu Xiang's face of, wait, Master and Uncle Wen. She's like, oh, oh, so you're his disciple now. I love she puts two and two together. And she gets so excited. She's like, oh, she's like, you got to be the disciple. Oh. She's like, Zhao Zhu. She's like, congratulations. You got a fool's luck. You finally have a strong backing like Zhao Zhu. I love it. It's so cute. And then, of course, she's like, oh, by the way, supplements, food, mine. I love it. I love that she just like takes all of it. And Chengling's like, you can have it. They're so sweet. I love the bond that they've made. It's like, it definitely is like little brother and little sister. Like they've made this bond of like protecting each other. And it goes back to when she was like encouraging him over eating the food. And now he gets to help her and pay her back. It's the sweetest. Their bond is adorable. So she takes the supplements. And then she's like, what does she say there? She goes, well, she's like, what does Master want? Then she says he came out of the valley in search of the glazed armor. How come after meeting the sick ghoul, he stopped caring about anything? Girl, he fell in love. He fell in love. He found love in a hopeless place. She's like, he's been hanging out with that guy all day. I love her face where she's like, oh, she very much, you know who she reminds me of? Guzhang is the Andy Dwyer of this series. If you've ever watched Parks and Recreation, she's Andy. She's Chris Pratt's character who's like, oh, like she just, that's her, right? And she's like, maybe Zhou drugged him. All he knew how to do was leave me in this terrible place without taking care of me. Even that fool Sao is better than him. She's like, why do I think of him again? I'm like, girl, you like him. Aw. How wretched. And then I like that she walks up and these guards have been listening to her the entire time and is like, which is hilarious. They both kind of like look at each other like, really? I'm surprised the glazed armor piece that was inside Chengling is as small as it was. I'm curious. Now, the scene where Gao Chong basically tells Shin Shin to give up his piece of the glazed armor, do we think that the glazed armor in the pouch that Shin Shin gave him is the actual piece? If I had been Gao Chong, I would check that bag to make sure that that's the actual piece, because you sure didn't check that bag. So what if Shin Shin's lying? I wouldn't put it past Shin Shin to lie and not give it to you. Super curious. It felt like such a mafia move where he's like, hand over the glazed armor. Because then Shin Shin's like, well, if I give you the glazed armor, that's making you a big target. And Gao Zhang's like, but if you have the glazed armor, you could get hurt, and I'm not going to get hurt, so hand it over. So, essentially, at this point, Changling's piece has gone to Gao Chong, and Ao Laizi's piece was with the changing ghost, we think. The second piece that was replicated by Wen Keshing was taken from the second brother, but there's also, there's the one piece here that now was with the fifth brother and is now with Gao Chong. So right now, supposedly, allegedly, Gao Chong has at least two pieces, if not three. And the Scorpions or the Ghost Valley possibly have the other pieces. Curious. But this one guy that we met has one of the pieces, so I'm curious about that. Like, what's going on with him? So yeah, he gives him the piece. Now there's two. And then Zhao Jing shows up, and Gao Chong is as sunny as a spring day. He is as right as rain. He is a peachy pie. He's like, I got two pieces of the glazed armor. I've got a pretty significant chunk. Hi, Zhao Jing. How's your day? Like, he's just in great spirits. And Zhao Jing's like, oh, we got more of the glazed armor back? Awesome. Interesting. So the Heroes Conference is looking up. And so what does Shin Shin say there? He says, eldest brother, I took the token of honor to the sword hall, the Mount of Changing, and shouted days for it. Not a single person listened to me. There's no trace of life on that mountain. The immortal died a long time ago. I don't know who they're talking about with the immortal. They mentioned the immortal, but I don't know who they're talking about. So I'm assuming we'll find out. I'm assuming we'll find out who this is. Is this the person that we see in like the next scene? I mean, Shin Shin be wrong about something. I'm surprised wish Xiang wasn't like, were you drunk during that too? I'm like, oh my God. He's like, how old would Rongzhan be if he were still alive? And Gao Chang gets really pissed when you mention Rongzhan. He's like, I'm the only one that can shout about him and his memorial stone. Thank you very much. Yeah. I feel like Gao Chang actually did like Rongzhan, maybe. Interesting. So he's like, second brother, let me tell you some good news that we got the piece from Changling. And he's like, oh, well, good. So, okay, what in the world is... So this place, we see a dragon... Who be this? And it says, like, this is somewhere else. Okay. So this is at Li Shun Hall. I don't know if we know this man. I don't know this man. There's a lot of candles, and he's holding his beautiful ornate red robes and painting just like what what Zhou Jishu was doing at the beginning of this series. And it says, noble line. Is this Jin? Is this Jin? Who has this piece of the glazed armor? Is it a fake? Is this Prince Jin? Is this be him? I want to see. Right? Or no, who be this man? Because we see the piece of the glazed armor, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth piece. Okay, the little fifth piece in the picture is the one that Changling had. Okay. But who is this man? I don't think that's Jin. His eyebrows are too nice. So I don't know who this man with immaculate eyebrows are, who is manscaped to the gods, but and he has a piece of the glazed armor or a fake piece. Who be him? Who be him? I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll see. They didn't give him a title card because I guess we're not supposed to know who he is, except that he's at Li Shun Hall. Okay, fine. If he's somebody that we've met before, I'm sure it'll come out in the wash, but I'm like, we're only on episode 12, so meeting new characters should not be a new thing. But then we have our two gay boys frolicking in the woods, looking for the base, and they find that the Scorpions have already destroyed it. I do agree with Wen Keqing. I don't think it was the Five Lakes Alliance. I don't think it was the Ghost Valley, unless the Changing Ghost is involved. I do legit think the Scorpions destroyed the base so that they couldn't go and find out any extra information. I definitely believe that. So, that because Zhou Jishu's trying to figure it out, and when Keqing's like, oh, please, it was not the Ghost Valley. Those guys are barely nice enough to sit on the furniture, except for the Tragicomic Ghost and Illyrian Ghost. He's like, we've only been gone a few hours. Have you? He says, how could either of them have the ability to destroy a base so easily? Now, I want to go to what Wen Keqing says about the Changing Ghost. He's like, they probably just destroyed it overnight. And then, of course, Zhou Jishu's like, by themselves? Could the assassins destroy this by themselves? And Wen Keqing says, although old Changing is not smart, his ambition is not small. So Wen Keqing knows the Changing Ghost is cheating on him and isn't loyal. These ghosts ain't loyal. So he's like, okay. He says, Changing Ghost has probably got some ambition and gotten some help from the Scorpions. And he says he's been working under me all these years. I love that when Keqing's like, well, of course his ambition wouldn't be small. Mine's not, so of course. So I was like, ooh! You take that credit, Wen Keqing. But then what does he say there? He says he's still able to collude with the venomous Scorpions. However, these idiots could never know the more they mess around, the closer I get to my goal. So is Wen Keqing like, you all mess around and cause chaos? That's my intent. And after everything's said and done and y'all are in disarray, me and my boo are going to leave and go live off and have our cottagecore life. And you guys will be in shambles and won't be able to follow us. I don't know. I'm very curious about what Wen Keqing's overall goal is. Whatever it is, I don't know what it could be altogether, but I don't know. The Scorpions and the Changing Ghosts, they brought in a demolition crew, that's for sure. So then what do you do after you go and try to go wreck shit and it's already wrecked? You go back and get shit-faced. So that's exactly what they do. They go back to have dinner and more wine, and then Guzhang comes in. And let me tell you all, Zhou Jishu, I I don't like Jojishu when he is in angsty sad mode, when he's just like having a hard time. Like, I don't like that life. I like Jojishu when he is like, it's the weirdest thing. I like when Keshing, when he is kind of brooding, and like sincere and soft and having ennui. Like, I think it's just because of how Gongjun acts, but I like when Keshing in that mode. I don't like him when he's crazy, terrifying ghost when Keshing, because it's terrifying. I like when he's like soft and has ennui and is sad. I love Jojishu when he's in flirty mode. When Jojishu is like, no, come sit down. He's fine. Like, I'm like, oh. So Guzhang comes in and is like, why are you still with him? Why are you still with Master, with the sick ghoul? And he's like, what? You don't approve with me staying with him? What did you all think of this? Because this was so open, like just open as in, 3 episodes ago, Jojishu was like friend zoning when Keshing and being like, I don't know. It's probably not going to work out between us. I don't even think so. The turnaround to this, first of all, when Keshing goes, oh, you don't approve with me staying with him? And Guzhang's like, no, I approve. I like that Guzhang's like, no, how could I? You go right ahead. It's great. Pretty great. And then the two of them are like, okay, we've gotten past that hurdle. And so then when Keshing talks about the venomous scorpion and how she is, and she goes, oh, well, I'm fine. Nothing serious. Changling gave me all of his medicine, so we're perfectly fine. I like Jojishu's like, gave you all of his medicine? I like that Jojishu in that moment is like, wait a minute. Did he save some for himself? Is he okay? Love it. She's like, I'll be fine after some rest. And when Keshing's like, okay, well, I really didn't expect the venomous scorpions would blatantly sneak in and try to kidnap someone. That's pretty bizarre. There could be a spy amongst them. But after Chengling's taken the glazed armor out, he's not in danger anymore. I like that he says that to kind of put Jojishu at ease, being like, hey, he's going to be fine. It's all good now. And then he says, Zhang, maybe you shouldn't stay in the Yuyang sect because, it puts you in danger. Just make up a lie and leave. But in that moment, Guzhang, which, here's the thing. Guzhang, I feel, knows that Chengling's going to be okay. She doesn't want to leave because of Cao Weining. And probably Changling. She wants to stay and help him too. But Cao Weining too. And the moment she's like, uh-oh, Jojishu, who can read character fairly well, picks up that something's up and looks at her over at her funny. She's like, well, do you want me to go back and serve you? And when Keshing's like, yeah, I mean, Jojishu, you got a problem with her following along with us? Which is, for him to say that, like, Changling's been following them the last how many days? And when Keshing never said, oh, it's cool if he follows. And Jojishu never asked him. So for when Keshing to ask him, be like, oh, it's okay for Guzhang to join us? Like they're a married couple and he needs to get permission from his boyfriend? And he says that and he's like, is it okay? And Jojishu is like, it's like they just flirt right back with each other. Jojishu's like, well, of course not. I'm like, he's like, of course not. He's like, I'd love to have this little beauty with us. And then when Keshing's like, well, he's like, yeah. He's like, well, I mind. And they just laugh at each other with it. Oh my God. And he's like, well, I'll give you a break, Zhang. You can go anywhere you want to. And she's like, well, I don't want to play around. I want to help. And she's like, I want to stay at the sect and protect Changling. That's why I want to stay. And they're like, well, you're going to pick up Changling after the Heroes Conference, right? So I'll just, in case I'll just stay there and protect him. And that'll be that. That fellow's, I love that she says that fellow's an idiot. He knows he needs all the help he can get. And that is when Cao Weining shows up. And it all just becomes a masterpiece right there and then. Where he's like, oh, Brother Zhou, it's me. The moment he comes up when Keshing's face immediately goes to, oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. And then he's like, oh, hey. And he's like, I'm Cao Weining from the Gentle Windsword sect. Like they don't know who he is from a week ago. And Guzhang is like, you. And he's like, Zhang, how did you not even know that someone was following you? How are you doing things? And she's like, well, Cao Weining, how are you following? He's like, oh, well, I couldn't just let you go. I heard from that someone wrote to ask you to meet here. And I thought it must be Master Win. So I felt a bit nervous and came with you. And she's like, oh, why are you nervous about Master looking for me? I was like, oh, I was afraid you'd leave. And then Zhou Jishu, who has picked up on many things, is like, oh, he's like, yeah, I get it now. He's like, the reason that Xiang doesn't want to leave the Yuyang sect is here. It's right here. That's the reason she doesn't want to leave. Right here. And the first thing Sao Weining does is look over at Guzhong and been like, oh, he's like, oh, are you willing to stay for me? And she's like, oh, well. And then when Keshing's like, I decide whether my servant girl can stay or leave. Oh my God. And then Sao Weining's like, oh, well, but Brother Zhou, Zhang said you're seriously ill, which is, and Master Wen has found many doctors for you. And then he goes to sit down, and my master knows a lot of people, so there could be a competent doctor among them. He'll be back in a few days from the Heroes Conference. I'm sure he can help. I love that when Keshing takes his fan and tries to stop him from sitting down, and Zhou Jishu's like, no, let him sit down. It's fine. I love it. It's so good. He's like, well, I can take care of Aju's injuries, so don't bother. And Zhou Jishu's like, no, sit down. He's like, I'm going to set the record straight. But then he lies. Well, he kind of lies. So this whole scene was amazing. I also feel like whenever Zhou Jishu was watching Guzhong make up all the excuses and stuff, it's like he saw him and Wen Keshing standing right before him and was like, oh, that's what this is. But he doesn't tell a outright lie, but he says, I am terminally ill and only have a few days to live. Which I wonder if that was a mistranslation and he didn't mean like a few days, but a short amount of time. Because if he really said a few days, they all acted really nonchalant for a few days. But it could be that he meant like a short amount of time. Now, here's the thing. Does Wen Keshing think that he's telling a lie and isn't being serious? And Zhou Jishu is actually being serious, but playing it off as part of the joke? Because Wen Keshing looks at him like, really? And he's like, well, Brother Zhou, I didn't expect you to have such a serious illness. He's like, it's a trick of fate. A trick of fate. He's like, there has to be a way to save you. He's like, well, my master and Supreme Leader Gao are bosom buddies, so they should be able to figure it out. And then, of course, Zhou and Wen Keshing look at each other like... Now, he does say here, he says, he's bosom friends and with the 3 sages of Miracle Healer Valley. Well, didn't we just say that the woman that married Rongzhan was a disciple of the Miracle Healer Valley? And if we are following my tinfoil hat theory that is Wen Keshing's mom, could Wen Keshing know something from that valley that could help Zhou with the nails? Maybe? I just love that Zhou and Wen Keshing look at each other like, for real. And Guzhong's like she knows this is all ridiculous and out of hand. And then he says, I can beg my master to let him help you enter the Miracle Healer Valley. Well, you know what? Actually, I would take Sao Weining up on that because I think Zhou Jishu could probably really go to the Miracle Healer Valley. That might be good for him. That might get the nail thing, figured out. Maybe you should take up that offer. Because I like that when Keshing rolls his eyes and looks right at Guzhong, and she's just like, I love that she's like, you can't help who you love. She's like, you love a sick ghoul, and I love a baby lamb / rabbit. I love Wen Keshing. Wen Keshing's like, his face is priceless. It tells 1,000 things at once. And he's like, I'm going to drink to this. And Zhou Jishu's like, well, you're a very warm-hearted man, and you're worthy of being among great warriors. And you make me feel moved. It's just, I'm paranoid. And then when he says that, he's like, it's just, I'm paranoid. I don't know if I can go to that Healer Valley. And he looks right at Wen Keshing, y'all. He looks right at Wen Keshing and says, instead of wasting my time in seeking medical treatment, I would rather go while I'm still healthy, go with my soulmate right here. and looks right at Win Kesching and says, with my soulmate right here, and says to travel across the world with wine and poetry. And at the time, Zhou Jishu is like, it's like he's serious in the sense that he has said that he doesn't want to spend his time worrying about the time he has left in this world. He knows his days are numbered, and he just wants to spend the rest of his days with his soulmate traveling the world. So he's telling the truth of how he actually feels and is confessing in this moment, but it's being passed off as a joke in front of Win Kesching. And I'm sure Zhou Jishu thinks that he's like, oh, what a joke. You know, I am being serious about traveling the world with my soulmate, but I'm sure you just think it's a joke, right, Win Kesching? When Win Kesching thinks he's his soulmate and thinks that Zhou Jishu is joking. He says, doing whatever we want without regret. Oh my God. And Win Kesching, if he's not internally screaming, I'm surprised he hasn't burst into flames. I'm surprised he hasn't tackled him in the middle of this restaurant. I'm surprised that he hasn't killed over. And he just looks so moved in that moment. And looks right at them. The censors aren't coming back, are they? It's just that Xiang is a girl. And it's inconvenient for her to follow us rough old men across the world. He was basically setting up that, you know, we're going to leave Guzhang with you so that the two of us can get out, you know. He's like, we need to set her up. Today, Brother Win and I here were discussing, and I think Guzhang's like, here's some drink. I just, you know, she ain't paying attention at this moment. It's like Brother Win and I were discussing if we could help Xiang find a trustworthy companion. And that's when Guzhang turns and goes, wait, what? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I'm so loud. But, oh my God, this scene. Who she can settle with. That would be wonderful. Oh my God. And when Kesching's like, well, yeah. That is the goal. I did say that I was trying to find her somebody to settle down with. And you are offering to go travel the world with me. I could leave Guzhang with him. And Guzhang's like, wait, hold on. I know we have a plan, Master Win. What are we doing? And Sao Wei-ning's like, are you giving me permission and your blessing to marry her? It's like, and you're telling me that he's like, well, Brother Win, what do you think of me? Oh my God. And Zhou Jishu's like, you're a sweetheart. And Guzhang's like, what are we doing? And when Kesching's like, oh my God, this proposal, Guzhang my girl, Guzhang my girl, oh my God. I've talked for an hour and a half about this episode, y'all. Oh my God. It's over. It's over. I don't know how it's going to get more romantic than this. Y'all, we're only on episode 12. We're only on episode 12. We're only a third of the way through the series. Are we even a third of the way? Yeah, this is a third. We're 1/3 of the way into the series. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to episode 13 before I leave for my trip. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to have to watch episode 13 when I get back. And that's so frustrating. But that just means I'll have to watch this episode again and again to refresh myself in all the knowledge before we start episode 13. So I'm in awe. I'm in awe. I've gushed. I've been really loud. And there's no other way to put it. Holy shit. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts and comments down below. I'm so excited to hear what y'all think of this episode. Oh my God. But yes, that's what we're going to do. So, I'm really excited. I hope you all are as well. I can't wait to hear what you all think of this episode. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. And yeah, I'm going to go and rewatch this entire episode. And I'll be back again real soon to talk about more with oh wait. No, I'm not gonna we have one more thing. So at 32 minutes. Yes, okay. So at 32 minutes and 52 seconds, Xiang asks, could it be that Zhao Jishu drugged Master Wen? What was actually said was, could it be that Zhou is a fox demon? Fox demons is an Asian traditional tale and can turn a fox demon is an Asian traditional tale that can turn into a very beautiful woman to lure a man and eat up his life essence. So clearly, Zhang is correct in her assessment of the relationship, and Wen Keqing is head over heels over Zhou Jishu. Okay, so that makes more sense. So she knows that Wen Keqing likes Zhou Jishu, and she's pretty accurate on that. They've all figured it out, but oh my god. Well, anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. I'm going to go freak out some more and get some screenshots. And I'll see y'all very soon with more reactions. I'll see y'all again next week with episode 13 of Word of Honor.